Hey guys, voice is still not fully back. Welcome back to Melissa's Cricket Creation. Today we're going to be discussing the untimely death of Mr. not Marlon, Merlin Santana. I do want to let you know that this video I am going to go through some things and some evidence, and I'm going to discuss what I feel like happened. Of course, I'm only going by the evidence that I see online. I don't know these people personally. I was not there, of course. So these are all my opinions. But yesterday I covered a case, not yesterday, about 2 or 3 days ago, I covered the case of Courtney Cox. And I kept getting comments of people saying that if she would have chose better, she could still be alive today. And I just remember thinking that with this case. And I was like, but that's not the same energy given. And I wonder, why is it we don't give the same energy to men that we give to women? So we're going to go through this case. Like I said, if you're sensitive, if you don't, I'm not victim blaming. I'm just going to go over the information provided to me, and I'm going to give you what I think happened and how I feel about the case. And so if you're very sensitive about him, because he was fine, okay, he was a fine guy, and everybody says he's a great guy, so I'm not trying to slander his name by any means, I would click off of this video, okay, because I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it and go through the information, through the evidence, and you can say yay or nay. You can comment how you feel, but I'm letting you know ahead of time that I'm going to go through the information. Before we get started, I want to show you some of the orders that I'm sending out today. And the website will be linked below if you want to get one. These are the self-defense keychains. They come with the little ball that are so cute. This helps you if you're ever stuck in your car and you need to break your window. You can't just break it by hitting it right. You can use this in the middle and you can crack the glass. Of course, mace if you are walking alone. This can hold your lip gloss. And this is just a simple wrist armband. So I have a number of them that I'm going to be packing up and shipping out today. And like I said, the link is in the bio if you would like to purchase one for yourself. Okay. Let's put this in here. And they come in. I'm going to do a thank you card, of course, because I don't think anybody that supports this channel. And they'll come in these cute little pink bags with your thank you card. Here's another one. Like this. And they didn't want the mace, but you can always add the mace to it, okay? All right, so let's get started. So I'm gonna share my screen and show you a couple of videos, not videos, I'm gonna show you actually, I'm just gonna show you some pictures so that you can, all right, here we go. So first, let's start off with who we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Mr. I want to keep calling him Marlon, but it's Merlin Santana, okay? So here he is, okay? And this is where I first came to know Mr. Merlin when he was on the Cosby Show, and he was Stanley, right? He was Rudy's boyfriend, played on side of Bud, right? And then we got to know him as Romeo. And he did some other shows in between, but this is just what I know him from, He ended up being Mr. Romeo, a handsome, handsome young man. And, he was Dominican. And they used his last name on Romeo Santana because he said he wanted people to know that Latin Americans came in different colors and they all weren't just like they try to portray or whatever, just go through a couple of these photos, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was really cute. This is, I guess, his child's mom. That's him, and that's the baby who she's actually an adult now. And just, going through these pictures. So, yeah, he was definitely a handsome guy, okay? So, But yeah, so let's go to what actually happened, right? So Marlon, I keep calling him Marlon, Merlin, him and his friend Brandon, right? And I pulled up a picture of Brandon so you'll know who he is, all right? This is Brandon. He looks a little different here, but that's you probably would know him better from some of his earlier works. But him and his friend Brandon went to a restaurant to eat. And when they went to the restaurant to eat, they met up with a girl by the name of Mercedes Brown, right? And I have a picture. She's on the thumbnail. That's the girl on the thumbnail. And so, they were talking, and I guess he ended up inviting her back to his home. And, they ended up sleeping together. I'm assuming that's what all the reports say, right? They end up sleeping together. And then the next day, now, here is where the reports differ depending on what article you read and which video you watch. Some say the next day when they got up, he stopped talking to her, or he wasn't treating her the same as he was before. Others just say, she just went about her way, blah, blah, blah. But for some reason, according to this, she went to her two friends and told them that she was sexually assaulted by Merlin. And so when they found out that she was sexually assaulted by him, they decided that they would go. Initially, they went to his home. I don't know if it's his home, but they broke into a home where him and his friend Brandon were. And they went through the house. I guess they were trying to see if they had any money in there, if they had any anything that they could steal and probably pawn money or, jewelry or anything. But they had already left. Brandon and Merlin had already left before they got there. So I guess they went to go look for him in their car, and they were like in this sketchy part of town. The two guys, they said they saw a red light beaming. Well, Brandon said it because he's the one to survive. Saw a red light beaming, and they say he knew, Merlin was shot. And, he said he pulled over. Just so happened it was a police car because he was in a sketchy neighborhood. So, it's probably police everywhere. But it was a police car there, and he waved the police car down. Unfortunately, Merlin was, killed at the scene. So when they got there, they took his cell phone. They went through his cell phone. And when they went through their cell phone, they saw that the last person that he was on the phone with was this Mercedes lady. And so they had Brandon call Mercedes and say, "Hey, can you meet me?" And so she met him, surprisingly. She met him, and they met at the restaurant or whatever it is. But of course he didn't meet her there. The police was there. So as soon as she came in, the police arrested her and they took her for questioning. Now, when they took her back for questioning, they were asking her questions like, why were you on the phone with him? How do you know him? What was going on? They were trying to get to the bottom of it, and they said what they noticed about her is they couldn't get a straight answer out of it. All she said, she didn't have anything to do with it. She wouldn't tell them her real name. At the time, they didn't know it wasn't her real name, but just everything kept contradicting each other, right? So finally, they got down to it, and she told them her real name. Her real name was Monique King. She explained to them that she was only 15 years old, that she was a runaway. Also, she explained that she went to her two friends, and she gave them the name. They were Brandon Douglas Bonds and Damian Gates. And she told them that, he had attempted, when I say he, Merlin, had attempted to, you can't say that word on here for some reason. They'll block your video, but you know what I mean. Assault her, right? And so they were angry, and they went to go find him, and, basically they killed him. So she pretty much set him up to be killed, right? And so when I first heard this, of course, Dana said, like, okay, I showed you the pictures of him, right? He's he's somebody's father. He's someone's son. It's a very sad situation that all this happened. So they go to court. They couldn't get a straight story from her or whatever. But, at the end of the day, she said she doesn't know why she did it, right? That's suspicious to me. She doesn't know why she did it, or did the police. I don't know. It's just very suspicious, right? So she said she doesn't know why she did it. So she ends up getting 8 years for her part of it. The guy she told them that the Damien guy had the gun, right? And the Brandon guy had the shotgun. So basically, and make sure I got this right. Brandon, he was 25. He pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter, so he had the handgun. But the shot that killed Merlin was a shotgun, so they assumed, or they had to know the only other person there was Damien. And so Brandon got 23 years, right? Because he's not the one that killed him, because it came from the shotgun. But Damien, he actually pled guilty to. He was convicted of first-degree murder and a slaying and sentenced on February to 70 years to life in prison. And so he got him consecutively. So he got life in prison and an additional 70 years, so that he would never, ever, ever be able to get out of jail again, because his gun was the gun that actually killed Merlin. Now back to to King. She was a runaway. She was 15. What was she charged with? She was tried as an adult, and she was sentenced to the age of 25. Okay, so let's break this down. So this is what I heard so initially when I heard the story and I found out she was 15. I know there are girls. I taught junior high, okay? So I know there are girls. I taught high school too. So I know there are girls that don't look 15, right? That look like they're 21, that look like they're 22. But at the end of the day, when you talk to them, okay, when you sit down, you hold a conversation, they're every much of 15 years old, okay? So this was a 15-year-old runaway, and I'm just going to go over what I think happened. I think she was a prostitute, okay? I think they were in a sketchy neighborhood. I think he purchased a prostitute. She was 15 years old, right? She probably was supposed to get money from him, or get more money than what she got, or she might have been, starstruck or whatever, and she didn't get what she was supposed to get. Now, these two guys that she went to tell that he allegedly assaulted her, well, we know he didn't, right? So that he assaulted her, I don't think she went to him and told him that. And I think that's why the police had a hard time getting a straight answer out of her. I think what it was is she couldn't tell them that she was a prostitute, right? And she had went back and told them that she didn't get the money. And they were upset. What? You messing with this celebrity guy? You ain't getting no money, da, da, da. So that's why they went to the home first. They were trying to recoup money. You went there. We didn't get paid. We want money. That's why she was able to call him, get on the phone next day. That's why it was what it was. And I think that's what all happened. And what's so crazy is, but right before I went live, I was just looking at different videos. I found a video. So, of course, the girl, because this happened back in 2000. I don't know if he died in 2004, but she was sentenced back in 2004. So she's out now. And they were saying now she is a what? She's a prostitute. And I was like, that's what I thought. I think, this is an issue of not a one night stand that went wrong. This is an issue of a prostitute situation that they were trying to set him up and get the money. So look, I found the video. Her name was Monique King. I want y'all to see this real quick. Let's see. Monique King, who killed, what's this one name? Merlin Santana. All right. So, no, I saw it. But yeah, so basically they're saying she's a prostitute now. And they're actually saying she has HIV and she's a prostitute. And everybody in the comments is saying like, oh, she deserves what she got, even though she was 15 and she was a runaway. So more than likely she's coming from a broken home and these men were using her for what she was worth. And I just feel like, after I did that video and I got so many people to comment and say that, the Courtney Cox girl, I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's in my lives, I've seen so many people in the comments say, oh, she chose wrong. If she would have chose better, she would have been here. If she would have still, if she would have, not been thinking with, they do all them sexual, if she's not thinking with that, and she would have, opened up her eyes to who he was, that cost her life, da, da, da. And I was like, why do we never have the same energy for men? Like, we have so many cases of men who are killed because they are put in bad situations. I don't believe he would deserve to die. I don't believe people that get, fake rape allegations deserve it. But my thing is, why do we not have the same energy for men when it's like he could still be alive today if he hadn't had this incident with this one night stand with this girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, he allowed his need for instant gratification to lead to his demise. And we don't have that same energy for men. Why is that? Why is it that we only have this energy for women? Because had he skipped this, if he had not been in this sketchy neighborhood, had he not been messing with this, underage girl, which, we can say he knew or he didn't know, but, she's 15, a runaway, we're mad. I mean, yeah, we're mad at her because she made the decision she made. But at the end of the day, why don't we have this same energy? What do you guys feel about it? How do y'all feel about the situation? Do you feel like, that, is it possible? Do you feel like that maybe she was a prostitute? Maybe that's how he got into the situation, and that's why they tried to set him up. And, that's why they couldn't get clear answers, because she didn't want to, how girls are. You see them For My Man episodes. She didn't want to snitch on the guy. Well, she told him she shot him, but she didn't want to say she was a prostitute. She wasn't giving any information. She just basically just said, I don't know. I just set him up and I told him he assaulted me, It doesn't make sense. None of the story makes sense. It doesn't add up. Why was he in this sketchy neighborhood? Why was he meeting girls in this sketchy neighborhood? Why would he take somebody home that he just, dudes do that, but it's not acceptable. All this stuff just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I just wanted to come on. I wanted to go over that, how he died and, my thoughts on it and what I think actually happened. And I would love to hear from you and what you think that happened. Do you think that it had to do with something sketchy like that? Or do you think that, it was just some girl framed him that, he just randomly met and I just want to know what you think. And like I said, if you're interested in buying one of these keychains, these safety keychains, self-defense keychains is actually what they're called. The link will be in the description, okay? You'll get a mace. These break your window if you get trapped in your car. You get the little puffy ball. And you'll get the lip gloss holder, okay? All right, guys. That's all. I just came on here to do something quick and just see what you guys think and see what the comments will look like. See what it'll look like the same in the Courtney Cox video when they're trying to hold her accountable for being killed. I just want to know what the comments are going to look like here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments how you feel. Do you think that's a plausible story, or do you think the first one is plausible? Do you think that the girl got enough time? The Monique King girl only got 8 years because, they charged her as an adult, but she got 8 years because of her, affiliation with the situation. Do you think that was good enough? Do you think she should have got more time? How do you feel about this situation? Do you feel like that he's, he has to be accountable in his actions too? And do you really believe a 26-year-old can beat a 15-year-old? Yeah, they might not look like they're 15 because you saw her on the picture, right? You saw her on my thumbnail, but I mean, it's not too many 15-year-olds I've talked to that don't sound like a 15-year-old when you start holding a conversation with them. And at what point do we start holding men accountable for their decisions that they make and ask them to choose better like they tell us all the time? I just want to know what you think. I want to know how you feel about this case. Yes, it's definitely sad. Yes, I wish there was a different ending, but I'm just here to just wonder what you think. All right, guys, until next time, stay crafty.